Hello, this is Ed Zoller with Villa Realty Group. It's March 18, 2011. Want to make a little addendum to the market update just to explain a little bit what's going on out there for people looking for a second home, primary residence, or especially for investors. My name's Ed Zoller, local real estate expert for Villa Realty Group. Last month, if you looked at the market update for March, you'll notice that our buyers picked up as they tend to do, and the weather up north's not good, and our weather's really well. Down here, and 24 homes came on and 30 homes came off, but it was the 700 homes that just kind of disappeared off the market, and our market kind of changed very abruptly and very quickly. Pending sales are up. That's normal to see that, but our off-water inventory hit an all-time low, and that's the number one product people are going after is the off-water stuff under 100 grand. Notice that appreciation of about 20-30% in the course of 3 to 4 weeks, which made it really difficult for buyers to get good deals. Well, the explanation, I kind of figured it out, is you have to go back to September 2010 when you heard about the robo-stamping, robo-signatures, or if you want to Google robo-signatures, robo-stamp, and explain a little bit about what that was. But briefly, attorneys were stamping names and signatures on foreclosures, and they were doing it fraudulently. 5 main banks were kind of busted with that, and then it kind of the freeze lifted in 60 days or less, and everything was supposed to be back to normal, but it's not. That lack of inventory created what we call an overheated market. Now, an overheated market is defined as a market in which the buying has exceeded selling too quickly for the market to bear. I misspelled bear there, but sorry. Rapid increase in pricing, low inventory. What's out there is just going through bidding wars, selling for much higher than it should. And in this time, markets tend to try to correct themselves back because you just don't see markets do this kind of appreciation that rapidly. It does take time. So why now? What happened? Well, I want to explain 2 things and define 2 topics so that you understand the graph that I made. A lis pendens means suit pending, a lawsuit. When you stop paying your mortgage, the bank tends to, within 60 days or less, mostly less, file a lis pendens on the property, recording that a lawsuit's been filed and the foreclosure has started. So that's one thing you want to know, a lis pendens is. The second thing is certificates of title conveyed. A certificate of title is proof that an owner possesses the property. So John Smith owns property X. When it's conveyed, it changes hands from the original owner to the bank. So just prior to the bank taking possession of it, it goes into the bank's hands, and now they own it, and then they tend to put it on the market. We can track these numbers so we can make a graph and kind of see what's going on, but consider a certificate of title is conveyed kind of like a pre-foreclosure. The results of it is in this graph here, and you can see here I have the lis pendens filed for the county, and you can see it looks like a little bit of a bell. Up here it's about October 2008. It hit its peak of 2,500 per month, and you can see that the bell curve, we're on the right track. People, were stopped not paying their mortgage, and we kind of, going down here. The BP oil spill impacted the graph kind of, and then it started making its way back up. But then right here, the robo-signatures hit in September of 2010, and you can see the graph just plummeted down. If I graph this out and made kind of like a normal bell curve with this hump kind of taking that away, it looks like the graph should be doing in more like here, but instead they stopped filing lis pendenses. This graph here is your certificates of title, and you can see coming January 2007, the graph is making its way up, and you got some up and down cycles, but overall you got this graph going up, 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 which should look like kind of this graph. As this went up, a couple years later, this graph goes up. They file lis pendens, and 2 years later they foreclose on it. We hit an all-time high in September 2010 of over 1,500 certificates of title in the county, and then right after robo-signatures, wham, straight down, just like this graph here. So it might explain a little bit about why we don't have any inventory and no foreclosures really for sale. Going back to the PowerPoint now. So the results is The banks stopped filing altogether. That's the conclusion that I've come up with this. We have a rapid drop-off of certificates of title, a rapid drop-off of list pendants, which just tells me the banks just stopped filing for these lawsuits and stopped getting certificates. And you ask yourself why. Well, obviously by them doing that, they've made a low supply. They've reduced the inventory drastically. And when you reduce inventory in economics, the prices rise unexpectedly. So who stopped filing? Okay, well, the top filers prior to September 2010 was Bank of America, JP Morgan and Chase, Wells Fargo, Fannie Mae, Deutsche Bank, and Fifth Third. The top filers after September is Wells Fargo, a company called Multibank, Citibank, Fannie Mae, Deutsche Bank, and Fifth Third. Do you see who's missing in that one? You see the top two for the last 3 years has been Bank of America and JP Morgan and Chase. They were named as far as one of the banks with these robo-signatures, and right after September, bang, they stopped filing, and they stopped filing all the way into this year as well. So my conclusion is Bank of America and JP Morgan Chase went from the top filers of mortgages to filing nothing since the robo-signatures came out. What happened in September 2010 is definitely impacting our market and has increased pricing. But when you increase prices that fast, they have a hard time appraising because they're still looking at 2 months ago or a month ago for comparable sales and seeing that, you know, for instance, units I was looking at selling for 99, 97, 96, now we're at 120 and 130. They're not going to appraise because the comps are still showing 99, 98, and 96. So we're going to have a bunch of stuff hit back on the market because of the failed appraisals. So what to expect? Well, there's over 11,000 open foreclosure cases in the county right now. There's all of those that need to hit. Just because they turn the faucet off and stop filing doesn't mean there aren't things to file. I believe the market will adjust back to this buyer's market we're expecting to see, and this bucket of shadow inventory should drop on the market after the end of the quarter, which is only in a couple weeks from now. Prices should adjust down to the bottom we experienced in December, January, and you're going to get your good deal again. April to June is a great time to come down because all the buyers come down during March, February, March, and April. But come April to June, our buyers tend to leave right after Easter, go back up north, and enjoy the northern good weather while we start getting hotter. And that's the time you want to be here. You don't want to be the one of the many people in the store. You want to be the only guy in the store with the sellers, you know, trying to get your business. So you heard it here first. My name's Ed Zoller. My number's 239-980-2792. You can email me any questions you have at ed@villarealty.com. And of course, you can see all these updates on the 3ws.capecoralforsale.net. I believe this is the time that you want to come down for your good deal. You want to wait until about first week of April, all the way up into June and July. Again, this is my opinion, but this is what I'm seeing out there happen right now. Anyone who bought in beginning of March and end of February really is, my opinion, is paid too much for these. I think we have plenty of properties that are going to be hitting the market here soon, and you can come down and get your piece at that time. If you want to make a tour or make a plan to come down, give me a call, email me, tell me when you plan on coming down so I can book a couple days, lock up the calendar so those days are just for you, and we can find out what it is you want. Take a look at the 6 least expensive properties that fit your criteria, and then go out and look at them to make sure they're everything you think they are, and give you all the options as well. If you're in a certain price category, there are some that make sense to new construction as well. But if you have any questions, email me or call me. I hope this helped you a little bit. Hope I didn't go too far over your head on this, but I think I've just explained why our prices have gone up. I don't believe our markets appreciate 30%. Could be wrong, but I do highly believe that we have quite a little bit of more inventory that's going to hit the market in the next couple weeks. Look forward to your calls, and you have a good night. Bye-bye.